Hey guys, it's Chris from Rizzo Tees, and I want to talk to you today briefly about Twitter. You may notice that I'm driving. First of all, I want to assure you I am paying attention to what I'm doing. I'm just driving around my neighborhood right now. I do really good thinking when I'm driving, and there are no kids in here screaming. It's a good formula for collecting my thoughts and thinking about a subject and trying to pontificate on it. I was thinking about Twitter, and I realized that there are really three kinds of users on Twitter. I would call them individuals, businesses, and individuals that have businesses. And what I see a lot of times on Twitter is I see individuals that are unhappy with the presence of businesses on Twitter. Sometimes they're unhappy with the individuals that have businesses on Twitter. Like me, I fall into that third category. So I asked myself, I said, is it okay to be a business on Twitter? Is it okay to market what you sell on Twitter? And I would argue that it is okay. I'm clearly biased, but I use Twitter to meet people. I use Twitter to read about the news of the world. I use Twitter to get the word out about my t-shirts, and I think that that's okay. But there are those that get a little pissed off when they're marketed to on Twitter, and I would argue that, first of all, you can unfollow anyone. You don't have to follow a business if you don't want. You don't have to follow anyone if you don't want. But two, I would argue that businesses on Twitter, many of them are owned by individuals like myself. They fall into that third category, individuals with businesses that are on Twitter. And I try to follow the 80-20 rule as best I can. 80% of what I tweet is not about me. It's probably more like 90 to 10. There are some businesses and individuals with businesses that don't do that as well. And sometimes I see a little hate for them on Twitter, and all I would say is, that's going to work itself out. It's going to come out in the wash. I don't think those businesses are going to be as successful, and I think that sometimes they do get called out publicly for just tweet after tweet about nothing but their business. At the same time, though, I do think there are some businesses that it's just not a natural fit to play the 80-20 rule. It might be 100 to 0, 100% about your business. I'm following Ruth's Chris of St. Louis. I love their steaks. Who knows if it's even a real Ruth's Chris employee working the account. It might be some social media company. Whatever it is, I'm following them because I really, really like their steaks, and I'm hoping that maybe they'll tweet out some coupons, that'll keep me from spending $200 for dinner for two there. My expectations are no greater than that. And I'm thinking about my other favorite local steakhouse, Mihaly's. It's over on McCall's, and I went there for dinner a few months ago, and I've really wanted to help them with their social media efforts. I've thought about approaching them. There's a really nice guy there, Mike Butler, that works there. Awesome GM, and I would love to help them because I love the place. It's a beautiful restaurant. But, does Mike have time to get on there and play the 80-20 rule? Should he even have to? Or could Mihaly's Twitter page and their Facebook fan page simply be a landing spot for their fans, a place to disseminate news about their restaurant, and perhaps give their fans a deal every once in a while? So I would argue that it's okay not to play the 80-20 rule all the time. If you don't like someone, just unfollow them. But realize that there are a whole lot of people on Twitter that have businesses that literally feed their families. And, I'm one of them, although it ain't feeding us yet. If it was, we'd be sharing ramen every night. But that there are a lot of people out there that work really hard and have dreams, and those dreams might be businesses. And I would encourage the haters to lay off a little bit, because most of us out there have really, really good intentions, and we might talk a little bit too much about our businesses every once in a while. For many people, their business is their life, and it's okay to be passionate about your life. It's admirable and preferable. And if you are passionate about your life and it happens to be your business, keep doing it. And you just have to ignore the haters. You just have to do your thing and be happy with the results. You'll never be able to please everyone. Cheers, guys.